I was really pleased with our players' unselfishness and execution on the offensive end of the floor. I hope we can shoot the ball like that all season long. But I thought Cumberland really gave us some problems there in the first half with their one-on-one play off the dribble. We didn't play the team defense we needed to in that stretch, especially when DJ and Trey went out of the game in foul trouble. I think they scored 11 of their last 14 possessions to end the half. But then coming out of the halftime break, I thought our discipline, our activity level on the defensive end was much better. I believe we held them to 9 points for the next 9 or 10 minutes of the game. That enabled us to stretch out the lead and kind of get more efficient play at that end of the floor minus the free throws there in the second half.
We knew KJ obviously developed that three-point shot in recent years, and tonight, 5 of 6. How have you seen him develop, and how much does that open things up? As Carter kind of pointed out to us, that he makes everybody else better, especially when he's hitting those threes.
Well, I think, number one, when you go and watch the shots, his shot preparation was really good. His footwork and balance was outstanding. And when he does that, he's proven he can shoot the ball at a high clip. I believe 41% a year ago. It's been pretty consistent in practice as well. So I think when you look at a player of his caliber with his ability to score with either hand in the post, now if you can space the floor and add another perimeter shooter, hopefully that'll open things up for all of our offense.
Coach, it's 20-14. I know it's a lot of positives to take away from this game, but it's 20-14. Tevin misses 3 free throws in a row, and then they come down and make and they come down and make a 3. You immediately take a timeout. You're frustrated. You had a couple things to say.
Well, I wasn't frustrated. Tevin, I don't think that'll ever happen again. I wasn't upset about the missed free throws. I don't know. It should be physically impossible in the game of basketball to miss a free throw and give up a wide open 3 seconds later on the other end. So, a chance to go up 23-11, start to build a lead, and now it's 20-14, and we have to waste our timeout. But that was one of those, we needed to use the timeout because that can never happen again. So we needed to make that point very clear.
To my next question is that this is a very experienced men's basketball team. I know there's a lot of expectations every year. But do you take a look at that singular moment and say, I'm not putting up with this, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we need to execute properly, and maybe the leash is a little shorter in that moment?
Well, I just think it's a learning experience there, and hopefully that's a mistake we won't make again as the season goes along. So I just wanted to make that very clear that that's not how we're going to play in transition defensively.
After that, y'all stabilized quite a bit. Things stretched out a lead, and then here they come again at you toward halftime. What were they doing that was giving y'all trouble?
Well, I wasn't as concerned. They hit a few tough threes. Step back, 22-footers, contested. That's okay. But the 3 Ed just mentioned, wide open in transition, like a warm-up jump shot, we can't give those up. And we gave up 11 made threes tonight at 41%, and that's just not good enough on the defensive end of the floor. And so I thought they also did a good job of just spacing us out. They only had 4 assists in the first half. It was all spread the floor, and we're going to take you one-on-one, and that's what they did. And so I thought we adjusted well in the second half. We're a lot more disciplined, more active as far as team defense is concerned, made those shots a lot more difficult the first 10 minutes. And that's why the lead went from 10 to 35 or so there in that stretch.
And everyone on the floor was contributing in some way or form. That's awful. It gets awful fun when you start seeing that, doesn't it?
Well, I thought 24 assists, only 9 turnovers. It's fun to play that way. I thought Juice Hill made a lot of great reads on our offensive end, had 8 assists, just 2 turnovers. Tevin just does a little bit of everything, 5 assists, only 1 turnover, 7 rebounds, shot the ball really well from 3. I've said it. I think we have a talented team. We've got really good players. We just have to keep building our team and stay committed to the process of getting better each day in practice. We know, this was a step up from our exhibition game, clearly, and we know Saturday night there's a really good Bellarmine team coming into town, and we'll have to be a lot better defensively in the first half if we want to have an opportunity to win.
We saw you guys go pretty deep into the bench, and like you said, everybody contributed. Now that you've seen this team against another team 3 times now, are you starting to kind of figure out, how deep you may go into your bench and who is going to shuffle out those minutes.
But some of it, Adam, was predicated on foul trouble there in the first half, so we have to do a better job defending without fouling. But I say it all the time, it's not cliche. I mean, we're off tomorrow. It's a day off. We'll come in Thursday and we're going to practice. We're going to compete. It won't be a walkthrough. We're going to compete, and guys have opportunity to come in and try to continue to increase their role. I think depth's important. I thought Deontay, when we had foul trouble with Trey there in the first half, Deontay came in and played really well for us. So I like our roster, but we got to stay committed to getting better.
One of the things Carter told us is that he thought that discipline on the defensive end was kind of what allowed them to maybe make a little run tonight, and he said that was the biggest thing he thinks that you guys need to work on between now and Saturday. Do you feel like that's kind of the case as far as shoring up some of those areas?
Oh, I agree. I mean, I didn't think we had any impact on what they were trying to do at all in the first half defensively. I mentioned, I think 11 out of 14 possessions they scored to end the half. We had some of our best defenders out of the game in foul trouble, and they just sized us up one-on-one and either took us to the rack and finished or hit tough jump shots. So I think it's an area we have to take great pride in, the defensive end of the floor, and really tighten up our team defense to where we don't give up those drives through the gaps for layups or a couple of those catch-and-shoot threes in transition. Just some things we can certainly get better at there.
Second straight game DJ starts for you guys. That kind of.
Oh yeah, it's and he's earned that every day. You know what you're going to get. He brings it. He plays extremely hard. He chases rebounds. I think coaches, we all have favorites. I love guys who play their tail off every second they're on the court with great energy and enthusiasm and passion, and take great pride in putting that Murray State jersey on. And I think he does that, and he's earned the time. Now we just got to keep him out of foul trouble there in the first half.
I know he was limited a little bit last year with Southern. Didn't get a chance to play as many games as Southern played for unknown reasons. For him, are you just seeing like a rebirth? Is it like oh my gosh, I'm on the floor after missing last year, or buy-in, or what?
I just think he's a hard-playing dude. I think that's what he does, and energy guy, and I think that's how he really impacts our team. So. You'd have to ask him, Ed, but I'm sure he's excited as can be to be back out here playing after missing quite a bit of time last season.
Hill does not look like he has any fear to me at all about going inside, even though he's a little guy. He doesn't have any fear at all going in the inside. You got to love that.
Well, he's an elite athlete. He plays way above the rim. He's got great speed and quickness. I think I've talked about it quite a bit here through the preseason. He's much improved. He's a guy who really took advantage of the off-season player development program. His buy-in's been terrific, and you see that carrying over to the floor, not only in the games but in practice. So I thought he did a lot of good things tonight. 8 assists, fantastic. King for them hit some tough shots, but we got to do a better job controlling the point guard on the other end of the floor as well.
What can you tell us about Coach Davenport and Bellarmine? I know they're expected to do really well in the ASUN this year. Good home game for you guys in state. What can you tell us about
It's a big weekend for us, Ed. I think number one, hoping for a great crowd as we honor our Hall of Fame inductees on Saturday night at halftime. From our program, thrilled to see Coach Tavester Anderson being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then the great Vincent Rainey. What an unbelievable career he had here. So. Number one, I think that's a big deal with this weekend. And then two, if you love basketball, it'd be a fun game to watch. They're an elite offensive team, one of the best passing teams in the country year in and year out, always going to be top 10 in the country in assists. It'll be a different style. Tonight we saw a lot of one-on-one play. Will be a lot of screening, ball movement, really shoot the three well. As I mentioned, we'll have to be a lot better defensively. If we want to try to contain their firepower. They have three great seniors that are back who were double-figure scorers a year ago, picked near the top of the ASUN. Be a great test for us. I'm really looking forward to it.